detective. Thrill me.
Thanks for joining us again, Jared. I think you're obviously clearly not real happy with me right now.
No.
But tonight's Exorcist Vengeance, starring Robert Bronzi.
Oh, I hear you say what? Never heard of it.
Yeah, look, I wish I hadn't heard of it. And that's a spoiler. That's an early spoiler. But before we get to this fucking abomination, have you watched anything?
Yeah, I watched a few.
Yeah.
Well, I kicked off when you and I were down the coast. I watched Waiting for Guffin.
Yes.
So rewatched that. That just happened to pop up. That was good fun. I watched the original Piranha.
Oh.
Which was pretty cool. It's pretty...
It's aged, but it's
aged, and you can see, Corman cutting costs with some of the effects and things, but he does all right with what it's got. It does manage to get a bit of scare and a bit of tension out of. I mean, fuck, when they go underwater and look at the piranhas, it looks like fucking silhouettes and paper and shit, but they actually managed to use it reasonably effectively.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good fun. I watched Slumber Party Massacre, the original.
Okay.
Good to revisit. This was all part of Joe Bob's Night Marathon. So yep. I've sort of watched most of that. I'm working my way through. So the next one on that was When Evil Lurks, which we'd circled a couple of times. You told me, fuck, we're not watching this.
When Evil Lurks. Is that the one, is it a foreign?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And it's got the cover with the axe.
Axe, yes.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a different approach to the possession, and it's got a couple of scenes that are quite graphic and quite sort of they hit pretty hard. But yeah, all in all, I thought it was all right. Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell.
What the fuck? We can say that again.
Well, Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell.
Oh,
so think a cheap Evil Dead.
Okay.
From Japan.
Okay,
basically.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, it's got its moments.
Good fun.
Bit of fun.
Yeah.
Again, done super cheaply, but quite strong. Fade to Black was another one on there, which I'd actually only watched in the last year or so. I'd finally got to check it out. That's pretty good, isn't it? Watched it again. Yeah, it's really it's a really strong performance from Dennis Christopher. And it's got, I think the sequences where they go through some of the kills and things like that, a couple of them are really, really well done. And it's quite an interesting,
That's
watch.
got a fucking facelift Mickey Rourke too, hasn't it?
Yes, it's got a very young Mickey Rourke carrying on like an arsehole.
That checks out.
But yeah, Children of the Corn was the next one in the Night Marathon.
Yeah, okay. The original, we've been through this.
Yeah, we've been through. I didn't particularly want to watch it again, and I can tell you, Joe Bob did not shed a fucking single shred of light about the He Who Walks Behind the Rose. I'm still.
So he's equally as baffled as everyone else.
I'm still searching.
Can someone ask fucking Stephen if he was within his right mind?
Yeah.
So maybe he can provide something?
I'm not sure what he's got to offer on
Remember
that
the
one.
new one where He Who Walks Behind the Rose was like a corn man?
CGI fucking corn man. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, great movie, that one.
Fucking Morty. Honestly, when you think you can't get any dumber, they come out with something.
How do you have 12 movies and have not one of them be good?
Yeah, that's a pretty fucking decent. That's
really...
like you are batting zero.
You're batting zero. Like, honestly, you've stepped to the plate 12 times and you fucking struck out all 12. Your contract's been torn up after 2 or 3.
Some of them you haven't even fucking got wood on pill.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't got...
You've just done that half swing and then you've just fucking tilted your head to the pitcher and said, yeah, well
you got
played.
me there. Yeah, you got me.
But yeah, because I mean, watching it again this time around, this one's not, it's not a good movie.
No. The opening sequence and stuff is not bad, where all the kids kill.
It's got a few kernels, but not many of them popped out of it.
Fuck no, they were in the foot of a corn man.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was tough. aside from that, I had one more in the night marathon, which I'll hold on because I haven't finished yet. But
Yeah.
I watched Abigail.
Oh, yeah, what's that like?
I liked it. I liked it. It's definitely got a handful of things that it touches on and then doesn't really go into that I think would have made it even better.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Even knowing what was coming, I sort of enjoyed it for what it was. It was pretty gory. It had some scenes that I thought were pretty effectively put together. The acting performances all round, I think all the actors were people that I like. So it was good to see them for the most part. So yeah, it was enjoyable. Wasn't a cracker. I think there was a couple of things that it touched on that really could have pushed it into being even stronger, but didn't quite go there. But yeah, I liked it. And outside of that, I've been dipping into Terminator Zero.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that's good.
Yeah, so I'm 3 episodes in, and it starts quite slow, but it's starting to build really nicely, and there's some sequences involving Terminators and that are pretty strong. So, like some stuff that would stand up to some of the better stuff in the series.
Mm.
And there's a really nice, I think it being set in Japan, like taking it completely away from the contexts that we're used to is probably a good idea. So there's some scenes that are like super familiar where you see something and you're like, oh, this is so-and-so, but then it's not. It's in a different setting. They start to take it in different directions, but it really does evoke some of the better parts of the original, and in a couple of episodes I've seen some of the sort of horror-y kind of, you know, the last time I watched The Terminator, we sort of mentioned things like Michael Myers and stuff. It's actually it's hit on a couple of them in scenes that I've seen, in episodes that I've seen so far. So yeah, pretty good so far.
Good. All right, is that everything?
That's it.
Okay, I didn't watch a lot. I watched Happy Death Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
highly underrated. It's really, really good fun, and on a low budget, it really does a lot with what it's got, which is great. We watched the first Purge. Not bad, but I'll tell you what, Jared, there's not a lot of places to go. Like, we've had 5 Purge movies, and they're all pretty similar.
Mm.
You know, like, there's not a lot of angles to go with it. It's a really cool idea, but it seems to just be repeating itself.
Yeah.
Each movie. And none of them have been terrible.
No.
It's just that they're kind of like middling.
Yeah.
Except for the second one. I really like the second one. The one with Frank Grillo.
It's unlike you to say.
Yeah, but, you know, Frank Grillo, he packs them in these days. But, you know, like, that's the one that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Because he kind of took the idea but then added this kind of revenge angle to it. Which
I thought they were going to dig deeper into the whole, almost like election aspect of it, like all the political stuff of it. They looked like they were heading that direction for a while. But.
And there's always a little bit of like, a small amount of depth with some of them. Like the Forever Purge had this kind of whole thing about immigration with it. And this one has sort of some things about race and stuff like that in it. But they never dig too deep. And I guess you can't, because it's primarily there to entertain and what have you. So, look, it was all right. It was acceptable. And the last one is we went back and watched Scream 6.
Mm.
I really enjoy Scream 6. Looking at it again, there's a couple of moments that don't hold up as well. The one that really holds up, I really enjoy, is actually the shotgun sequence in the bodega. I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really
surprisingly, because I remember seeing it in the trailer and thinking, no, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But it really it does well. The shit that doesn't work, the Kirby character is fucking irrelevant. Like, she is used essentially as a red herring. That's it. I didn't think there was much need for her, to be honest. And the ending is just fucking lunacy and kind of ridiculous. Like, it goes way too far over the top and everyone survives. And I was just like, what the? I mean, one guy gets stabbed about 50 times in the chest and it's like, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me.
I sort of understand where they're going with that one, but it's,
you got to lower it. You got to bring that down just a little bit.
I actually, funnily enough, the last time we watched it, I actually liked the ending more than I did the first time.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's exactly what you want because it's balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Like, it's all happening. And your hero characters are right in the mix. Like, there's none of this shying away and trying to run away.
I think that both of 5 and 6, and I've said it to you before, but neither of them, when the reveal of who it actually was came out, both of them left me with a bit like, okay.
Yeah.
But the way they work for the surrounding kind of, the way they're talking about the horror movies and shit, I think both of them work pretty well for that.
I mean,
not so much for the reveal in the story aspect of it.
The Scream 6 reveal, I mean, they are probably the worst villains of the series in terms of, like, the way the acting and shit, I think. Like, they're very poor. But it's not really that big a deal because it's kind of like, well, fuck, now it's on. Like, the moment they're revealed, suddenly it's punching on and everyone's into it. Like,
yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, that's how you want to go out. I still feel we probably could have done away with Gale Weathers too.
Yeah.
But it seems like, I don't know what happened to Scream 7, but it's obviously been put on the back burner for a little bit, and they were going to bring Sydney back. Is that not correctly? So that probably now brings Gale Weathers back.
That's where it is at the moment.
Yeah. So I guess now I can kind of see, okay, well, maybe that was fortuitous.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have, unless they pivot on Melissa Barrera, which, I mean, fuck, I wouldn't care if they did. Like,
no, I wouldn't care either.
Bring her back, that'd be better. But then I don't think Jenna Ortega was in the mix anyway.
No.
So
too busy.
That makes things tough.
Yeah. I mean,
we tried that with Scream 3 when Neve Campbell didn't have full availability. Didn't pan out.
For
as many people tell me, oh yeah, Scream 3 is actually great. No, it's not actually great.
It's shit ass.
It's got its moments, but it's
by far the worst of the series, I think, if you're looking at it.
Yep.
And that was it for me. All right, let's take a break. Here's a trailer for 2022's Exorcist Vengeance.
Mrs. Agnes? The door has been opened.
Have you ever considered practicing what you preach, Father Joseph?
It's my duty to protect the innocent.
These symbols were found at a property belonging to a popular donor to our cause. The Vatican has requested your services specifically.
I need everyone to listen to me. The devil is at work in this house.
It's been a while, Andres.
The Lord is my strength and my soul.
Exorcist Vengeance from 2022, produced and directed by Scott Chalmers, who was under the alias Scott Jeffrey. He directed The Gardener. And Becca Hirani, who was under the alias Rebecca J. Matthews. And she made Nutcracker Massacre. The story is by Jeff Miller, who wrote Once Upon a Time in Deadwood. And the screenplay is by Miller and a guy by the name of Matthew B.C., who wrote Medusa's Venom. It stars Robert Bronzi as Father Joseph, Stephen Burkhoff as Bishop Canello, and Simon Finesse as Uncle Patrick. I could not find a budget for this picture, and it made $20,000 in the cinemas.
Did it in cinemas?
Well, I can only assume it had a box office.
It
had a fucking box office number.
Christ.
And there was no trivia. So, fuck.
Well,
Take
I
that
can
how
tell
you
you,
want.
the people that are involved in it have the trivia that I can see is when I looked at the productions they're involved in, every single one of them's on Tubi. I've scrolled past them many a time.
We probably could really
But
go
they're
through
also involved in the Winnie the Pooh
the series.
Blood
Did
and
you,
Honey
did
and
you
that sort of
not
shit.
watch one of those?
I watched the first one.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. Have actually heard the second one is slightly better, so I will watch it at some
Okay, fair
point.
enough. Okay, thoughts?
I was disgusted, Adam. I was I wanted to treat you like Father Joseph treated Uncle whatever his name was.
Uncle fucking Peter or whatever his name was.
No, look, I just why do you throw a picture around Robert Bronzi
Mm-hmm.
and not make it a fucking
Revenge
rip-off
film.
of a Charles Bronson canon era picture? Like, the guy has a career because he looks like Charles Bronson. Who in their right mind decided, well, let's whip together an Exorcist picture around it?
Yes.
It's ridiculous, Adam.
And Bronzy works best when he's not saying a lot, Jared.
Well, the same people made The Gardener, and I thought The Gardener was on the right track with what you do with this guy. Look, the guy's career is a gimmick, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm the type of guy that'll fucking eat that shit up if you throw it out there.
Of course.
I mean, I've watched Death Kiss. I was mildly excited when I hit play.
I believe he's got another one like 13 to Midnight coming.
Yeah.
Which
he
is
does,
a similar,
he does.
12 to Midnight.
But that's what he should have. That's exactly what he should have. So when you suggested we watch this, I said
you were
"Look,
concerned.
I'm concerned because I don't particularly think Robert Bronzi as an exorcist is what I want to watch.
You said his career was on a knife's edge.
No,
you put it?
Well, yeah, I said. Well, you said to me, I said he's got a lane and he's got to stick to it. But then I sort of said he's not on a lane. He's on a fucking tightrope because you cannot do anything outside this Charles Bronson-esque because otherwise you end up with this. So yeah, he walks a tightrope, Bronzy,
Well,
and
if we're looking at a lane, like this is like Bronzy was driving down the highway, totally straight road, and he's come across a fucking dirt track, and he's driven on.
No. This is like those ones that are on a cliff, and you've got fucking inches. You got inches, and if you fucking he's turned slightly. He's just turned the wheel a touch, and he's fallen to his death.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what it is.
This is just. What would you give?
I
this?
gave it half a star.
Half a star. Fuck, mate, you really tagged him.
Half a star.
Robert's copped it here. I gave it 1 star.
Shit.
I don't know what Bronzy was trying to achieve or the people around him, but I mean, his fucking performance is just, it's incredible, Jared. Like, it's incredible to watch him fuck things up, but it's not all his fault.
It's not his fault.
Because why would you give this mealy-mouthed idiot all sorts of scenes where he's got to sit there and talk to a guy out on a patio?
Well, it's also, I mean, English clearly isn't his first language.
No.
So that's something that you've got to overcome. But he's not an actor. So why do you put him in a... Why are you trying to get him to do this dramatic... Just get him to do exactly what we were talking about. Stand there, fire a gun, run towards somebody, throw a punch. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Play to the strengths of Robert Bronzi.
exactly.
They're limited, but they're enough to get a crowd of idiots like us into a
Correct.
movie.
I mean, I would suggest I've been supportive of the guy's career.
Not anymore.
Well, I still am if you play his cards right.
Yeah, look, I gave it 1. Fuck. I don't know why.
It was tough. It was one of the toughest watches I've had in a while.
Okay. What did you have anything at all?
Anything that I liked?
Yes.
Stephen Burkhoff popping up for 2 minutes and
That was it?
showing that yeah, there's some
You
people
can still
in the,
have one foot in the grave, but
there's
still deliver.
There's someone in the picture that's done some acting work before.
Yeah, true. And when him and Bronzy are talking to each other, it's a mismatch.
Well, at least he's somewhat animated
yes.
for a guy that doesn't have a lot of animation left in there.
Yeah, no. He's on the verge, I think. He was on the verge.
Yeah, so
I had a couple of likes.
I'd like to hear them.
The fact that Robert's unorthodox methods of exorcism involve slapping the fuck out of someone and then binding and gagging them to a fucking bed. I mean, I got a small laugh out of that because he didn't even like do the whole sort of like the power of Christ compels you, and he just leans over and slaps her.
Yeah.
So I thought I got a chuckle out of that.
The power of the 5 fingers to the face compel you.
Robert, this is not how you achieve exorcism. You don't slap them. Look, if you slap it, the devil doesn't come out. Jesus.
Well, it didn't work.
I know, it didn't. There's a line in there. Fucking hell, I don't know why I thought this line was kind of good, but not good, but he kind of says something. Someone says something is about Sunday being a day of rest.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert says, for him, and points upwards.
Yeah.
And says, but that's not who we're dealing with.
Yes.
And I thought for a second, nailed it, Robert.
Yeah. He did.
You know why? His inflection was correct.
Yeah.
He was low-key.
But can you imagine him spitting that back at some sort of, some bloke that's talking shit to him before he decides to, kick 7 shades of shit out of him?
I can see that working.
It would have worked a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a moment where there's a sheet on the couch and it suddenly starts moving and the woman's underneath it. I thought that was actually quite well shot.
Mm.
But I'm not exactly going to say the directors, nailed things because that was the only shot. I kind of went, oh, that was actually all right.
Mm.
But that's it.
Okay. Glad you enjoyed yourself because I didn't.
Into some shit now. Into some shit. Fucking talk about slow. So this is one of the issues with Bronzi. You don't slow down. You just go straight into like hell for leather, punch everything, shoot everything. Like, why are you slowing this fucking thing down?
I mean, Adam, we like to talk about Jaws and other films that aren't within a bull's roar and whatever. Like when this is throwing out bits and pieces of The Exorcist, and all I'm thinking of was, The Exorcist is people going through crisis of faith and things like that. Robert doesn't go through anything.
He has a crisis.
No, he doesn't.
He constantly fingers his...
Oh, he's got a crisis of his top button. That's about it. But he says when he's talking to Uncle after he's punched... after he's belted Uncle and then Uncle said, oh, okay, we'll sit down for a drink. He starts talking about, the devil can't rattle me because I've got such strong faith inside.
Hmm.
Okay, well, fuck. So you're not going through anything then?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, there was nothing. It was so flat all the way through.
It was flat.
Fucking flat.
But it was so slow. Like, you don't want Robert Bronzi sitting at a table having conversations with people.
You said you didn't need to see Bronzi picking up coffee.
I don't need to see him picking up coffee either. But I also have to laugh at that sequence. He's been told to fuck off. He's been told your fucking exorcism skills are worth nothing but shit. And next thing you know, he's down at the 7-Eleven getting himself a brew.
Getting a coffee. That's the thing. He walks out with the same demeanour that he walks in with after he's been told, you've fucked it all up. 3 people are dead. Like, what have you done for us? What have you done for us lately, Father Joseph?
I need coffee.
I could do with a coffee. It's early in the morning. Like,
he's a fucking... He's unbelievable.
But again, this is not all his fault.
I know. But there's a sort of a goofy charm to Robert.
There is a goofy charm to Robert. It's goofier and more charming when he's doing it in... as a knockoff Charles Bronson.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, there is a goofy charm. Well, I go back to The Gardener. I mean, I enjoyed that, even though there was some shit about it and it was low end. It got a lot of things right, with what you have to do with this guy.
Yes, correct.
You know, like
Well, it just stayed in a wheelhouse that works.
yep.
I mean,
We
it was
roped in
basically
Gary
fucking-
Daniels. We did.
It was it was basically like fucking Die Hard or something like that, but in a
Die Hard with a pair of secondaries.
yeah, but it was in like a Tudor mansion or something.
Yeah.
But exactly what you want
Yep.
with Robert.
Yep.
The acting is just fucking terrible. Like, I know we're giving Robert. I'm going to give Robert a kicking of his own. I'm going to give him a full kicking in a minute. He's terrible. The other actors are absolutely terrible. And I felt for poor old Stephen Burkoff. Because
Yeah.
I even think he probably said, "What's my motivation?"
Yeah.
They said to stay alive, I think.
Yeah. Well, to try to get Bronzy to crack a smile or open an eyelid just a little bit wider or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, so here's where I say it's not his fault.
Okay.
Like, you've asked the guy to sit there and deliver a fucking monologue to a grave, for fuck's sake. Like, you've seen what he can do. And that's not in the fucking tool bag.
He hasn't got a full Synchrome's fucking spanner kit.
He's got a toolbox like what I've got out in the shed where, you know, there's
Fucking
one screwdriver and the other 6 that are supposed to be in there are fucking God knows where they are, but they're not in there. So you come to me and I can say, yeah, if you want the batteries out of your remote control, I got you covered. But if you want anything else,
If you need to open a fucking, you know, like any other item, like the chances are fucking zero.
Correct.
No,
And
you know what Robert's got? He's got one of those fucking kids' toolkits now. It's made of fucking plastic.
yeah.
It's got one giant screwdriver and one saw.
Yeah. He's got a little chainsaw that blows the fucking little blows the air out the top and things like that. But so that's when I say it's not his fault. Like,
It's not. No, it's not his fault.
did anyone other than Steven Seagal ask Steven Seagal to do shit like that? No. It was only when he was writing stuff like, you know, on Deadly Ground that he decided that that's what Steven Seagal should do. Like,
And Robert Bronzi's just turning up. He's a hired hand.
that's exactly right.
He's just a hired gun.
Yeah. And I suggest there's possibly a couple of days on set where he saw what he's got to do and goes, oh, no. Like,
Oh, I can't do that. I haven't got that in the kit bag.
yeah.
Oh,
That's,
fucking hell. Right, I'm going to go straight to Robert, though. This is why it's his fault.
Okay,
This is where he contributes to making
His
the
own
film
downfall. The end of his limited career.
It's a rough performance. I think that's being fucking generous.
Generous, yeah.
It's rough. And one of the things Robert doesn't do well is he's about as convincing of a priest as I am. And fucking based on the shit that I've done, I'm already going to hell.
Yeah.
So clearly, I mean, the guy, I'm more convincing at being
I
a
think you
priest.
might be. I think you might be.
But
You're not as convincing at being Charles Bronson, and that's the whole point here.
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. The whole point is that put him in Charles Bronson pictures and don't do this.
Correct.
But he mumbles so much. I had to have the fucking sound jacked up to the absolute max just to hear the silly prick. Right? Because he's fucking mumbling into his chest and mumbling every time he spoke. And he also...
Were you able to understand him when he says, that's what it wants you to think? And then
No,
the
I
guy
wa-
said, oh, I bet he does. And he goes, it, and then walks off. Talk about tone and wringing every little bit of pathos and emotion out of every word.
Holy crap.
That was career best work.
God, I gotta get myself under control. No, look, Robert also puts some wrong inflection on things. Okay? So when someone asks him, breakfast is ready, he goes, oh, thank you. Like he's fucking excited.
Yeah. After they've just said, oh, we found someone dead. And he goes, oh. Breakfast served. Oh. He gets more animated about that than a cup of coffee.
I think it's because Robert actually thought they were breaking for breakfast at that time.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have to act anymore. Fuck, thank God for that.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh, fuck, I can go back to my labouring job. It's just, it's not. Look, again, I'm like you. I can't blame him because he's been put in a role that he shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
Right? But his performance is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
bad.
terrible.
What about the most animated he got was when he was chasing some bloke at the start, and we didn't really get an explanation of what that was all about. He ends up going to the police station and seems to get let out the next morning after having shot somebody. But anyway, but he's chasing this guy down, and then both of them run into this bloke. Like the chasee runs into this guy, and the guy kind of turns around with a, oh shit, what's going on? And then Bronzi runs past and fucking palms him off.
He goes, that's as animated as Robert got.
Animated as he got.
He got so excited he got to fucking flog someone.
Yeah, he got to brush this guy off.
Oh, man.
And
I didn't, when did any of that come back? Because he had some flashbacks where he met a fucking homeless guy. He was a young man, gave him some crack rocks. And next thing you know, the guy turned into the devil. What the fuck was all that about?
Devil's had a very rubbery face at him.
And then he shot him?
Yeah, look. Bronzi was,
Can you explain any
a
of this?
dealer who turned to God when one of his clients was possessed. He told us that. But when he was telling us that, it was him just sitting at the table explaining it in the same tone as he's delivered every other line in the movie. I was a dealer. I dealt in drugs. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing.
I must have switched off when he was...
One of my clients turned, but I knew it wasn't drugs. I was like, are you kidding? Who?
Robert, you were high on your own shit, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, mate. You're on the fucking gear.
Yeah, that's what you saw.
Yeah. You hallucinated. You saw a fucking window licker.
You saw the devil, and then you saw Bigfoot wander past the window, and then everyone had the fucking window licker face in the room.
Your own arms were huge.
Oh,
you were
Jesus.
you were off your nana, mate.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, you didn't see the devil.
Yeah, like that was ridiculous. Also ridiculous, Adam. Why are we firing guns at the devil? Everything I've been led to believe says that's not going to have an effect.
He fucking fired a warning shot at the devil. What the fuck? I mean, just like slapping the shit out of it, you can't fucking get him out like that.
This guy's supposedly been doing this for years, and his methods get many people killed, but they also involve, as you said, doing a number of things that clearly don't seem to work.
I think calling this shit unorthodox is not on.
Correct. And see, this is the thing that annoys me. They did a few things in this movie where I'm like, it seems like they know what he should be doing. He's a priest who's packing heat.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking, okay, are we going to get a little bit of canon-esque?
Bronzi kicking ass for the Lord.
But I mean, even Cannon knew that when Chuck Norris fought the devil, it was fists. It wasn't.
I know. He wasn't fucking reciting passages from an old book
God.
in an effort to fucking get rid of the devil. He was kicking the devil out the door.
Exactly. And every time Bronzi was thumping Bibles, it was, oh my God, it was so fucking slow. It's not gripping. Robert Bronzi reading Bible passages is not gripping.
No, it's not. Jared, I think Robert Bronzi doing a lot of things is not considered gripping. And one of those things is getting coffee, B, fucking pulling off his priest, whatever it's called, collar, and fucking,
If I had a drink every time he did that, I'd have been shit-faced by the end of the movie.
Hell, I wish I was
For sure.
shit-faced when I watched it.
Yeah.
Christ. Probably would have given it 4 stars.
Yeah. There's also, scenes of him Scenes of him fucking reciting prayers and then trying to pour holy water down this bird's gob. Like, it's just fucking... It's so silly. Like,
Yeah.
it just screams, oh, we've got to get 90 minutes here.
Yes. It's at best it probably had an hour's material.
Yeah.
But they just seem because
Well,
they add
did
the.
I could have sworn it was less than that.
Well,
Like, what? Because
How
nothing...
these fucking pricks got to 90 minutes is beyond me.
Well, they just with nonsense like this.
But they bring in the whole killer angle,
Yeah.
which was fucking crap because everyone died except for like there was two
Yeah.
people left.
Yeah, the only thing they had in their bag of tricks, and going into spoilers, but I don't think anyone's going to watch the movie, so the only thing they had in their bag of tricks was that it was two women that looked pretty similar. But unfortunately, in one of the sequences, you see the hair.
Oh, do you?
You see the hair of the person doing this stuff, and you're like, oh well, I think it's that one.
Right.
Not to mention, again, the acting doesn't really throw you. I mean, I was hoping they were going to just go another direction, but they didn't.
What direction would that have been?
Well, there was a couple of candidates, and I thought, I mean, it wouldn't have worked either way they went, Adam, because it was
ill thought out, ill conceived.
yeah.
Yeah, look, they bring in the killer angle, which is just... It's just boring. Like, it doesn't bring anything, even though it's trying to kind of add... it's kind of add, like, this whole whodunit angle and non-possession angle.
I'll tell you who done it, Adam. The devil done it.
Yeah, the fucking devil definitely did. The devil wouldn't even... You know what? The devil would not even possess these pricks. Like,
well,
you know...
again, we're talking about... I mean, we talked about the pentangle last episode and their ambitions, Adam. Why is the devil wasting his time with a
quaint
small,
country
isolated
household?
family in a quaint country household? Like,
Why is Robert Bronzi staying there? Like, I'm fucking Father
the
Karras
man needs a
turned
hot
up
meal because
to
no
do-
one's paying him for his acting or his exorcism. By the looks
Father
of things.
Karras got the call, came out and exercised the fucking demon.
Yeah.
Not stayed overnight and wanted to know what the breakfast menu was.
But it also, when he did have to hang around for a while, it was because things got worse.
Yeah.
This went to hell in a handbasket fucking from minute one.
Yeah. But also, he was, that whole exorcism takes all night, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting worse and worse, and she's yakking everywhere, and she's masturbating with crucifixes and all sorts of shit, right? And it's escalating. This one, Bronzi, slapping fucking people and then just tying them down to the bed and then wandering off,
slapping people, zip ties,
and then sitting down and having a fucking chat,
yanking
about
his
some
collar,
other bullshit.
going to sleep. But
Putting Uncle fucking Peter in a headlock.
there's one part where he appears to have been there for 2 days, or it's like the second day
Well,
already.
he's definitely had one and breakfast. We know that.
But there's, I think it might have been the part where we end up with some bloody levitating and things like that, and again, visions of the devil's face, and he goes, "Oh, we start tomorrow." Like, mate, do you think I can sleep after this person's just been vomiting up black goop and stuff?
Yeah, no, Robert, you don't understand. It's already started.
Yeah,
like,
we start now, motherfucker. That's why you're here. I mean,
Put your robes on and get your ass down there.
We've been dealing with an exorcism, and I live out in the country. Do you think I've had a chance to fucking get food and shit to
But
feed
also,
you?
is he in the book? Like, do you give Robert a call? Do you call the Vatican? How the fuck does this work?
I think Robert's on. Well, he's not on high pages.
He's on 1-800.
I think he's on the
exorcism.
TV. Yeah, you need an exorcism. Call Father Yosef. 1-800. Shit exorcists.
Yeah, it. There's a whole fucking thing. You mentioned the headstone. Not a speck of emotion in that at all. Like, not a fucking speck. His wife's dead.
But it's one of a handful of times in the movie where they ask him to fucking talk to himself. Why do you do that for a guy that's not a great actor and you're giving him
According to you said he
rubbish to
wasn't
work
an
with?
actor at all.
Well, he's not really. Didn't he do shows as like, wasn't he in like, I don't know, some Hungarian version of like Movie World where you get people that look like people, and he was fucking Charles Bronson for obvious reasons.
Is that where he began?
Somewhat.
I don't think they put you through NIDA after you've been there either.
No, I don't think so. I've seen some people at Movie World who I'd rather have in a movie than Robert, if this is the case, though. Again, I'm not trying to kick the bloke. But
you're doing a fucking pretty good job.
It's, as I said, it's the fault of the people that decided we're gonna play off Robert Bronzi's name to make a low rent Exorcist film. Like,
now, question it.
Make a silly, like, if someone said to you, "Oh, we're gonna take the carbon copy, we're gonna take Avenging Force, but we're gonna use Robert Bronzi," you'd watch that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. I want to know what masks we'd be fucking wearing again. And if there's
Because
a
we
mate
say
involved.
canon, we say Bronson era canon.
Yep.
We go, yep.
I mean,
sounds
you
great.
could mine the Bronson canon fucking very nicely with Bronzi.
Correct.
Because there's a number of films. I mean, the one with the nude killer who runs around the fucking woods. Like, where's that?
Where is it? I want to see it.
Well, it's called 10 to Midnight, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's
Is it
the
10
next
to
one that's
midnight?
coming out.
Yeah, okay.
His is 12 to midnight, isn't it? So maybe we will get a nude killer and Robert Bronzi.
Well, I mean, that's more in his wheelhouse.
That's what he should be doing.
I'll say this, though. We've talked about his exorcism prowess. Now it's pretty shithouse, but when he first fucking rocks up, too, he says, as soon as we start the exorcism, after we've waited a day for her to get fully fucking possessed.
Yeah. And then we sort of rub our hands together and go, "Oh, we'll ramp things up tomorrow after I've had a good sleep."
What's for dinner tonight?
Yeah, anything for dinner?
Is there a rack of ribs or something? Because I can smell something. Yeah, when he finally gets going, he seems to pass the buck to the other girl and just say, "You read this."
Yeah, you're going to have to do that part.
Like, shouldn't you be doing something? You're fucking me
Well, in
higher.
fairness, it's his second language, Adam. So, Jesus, cut the man some slack. He's doing his best there.
If the book was in Hungarian, he would have fucking
He's
nailed it.
got it. He's got you covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, we're shooting an English language movie here. How hard did you laugh when Robert decides it's time to throw down with Uncle? I mean, Uncle's not possessed, but Robert treats him like he is.
You know what? That's his most fucking athletic bit of the fucking film. He takes him in a headlock and then fucking takes him to ground. Like,
I love
it's quick.
it. I loved it when he says, your disrespect of the Lord will not be tolerated. And then he shapes up. I'm thinking, all right, where did this come from? But again, this is where the filmmakers seem to have an understanding of what you should be using Bronzi for.
What?
If Bronzi was an avenging priest and rolled into like a drug den or something and said that, your disrespect of the Lord will not be tolerated, and then started slapping.
Yeah. Well,
That's a winner.
Fucking oath. We are on steady ground there.
Yeah.
What it needed to be is Bronzi comes into town, avenging priest, fucking starts cutting a swath in town of possessed individuals. I mean, I don't
even need him to be possessed.
I have tossed that off in fucking 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's more enjoyable than this shite.
I think so.
I don't know why he was beating the fuck out of the uncle. I mean, they were having a disagreement.
In fairness, the uncle has had a couple of family members killed on your watch.
Yeah,
and
true.
you're fucking having a snooze, Robert, in my house. I didn't invite you to stay.
Robert, you can't keep saying we start tomorrow because fuck, mate, it's an exorcism. It's not like fucking mold
or
rats.
What he forgot to say, they sort of cut when Robert said, "We start tomorrow," and then said, "And don't forget, I charge by the hour."
Yeah.
See you in the morning.
When he hands over his fucking invoice, they're like, "We're being billed for 27 hours." the fuck have you been doing?
27. They got off light. He was there for he was there for 48 plus easily.
I'm going to say 72.
He got a weekly. He got on the week. Yeah, I gave you a discount.
72 hours.
You hit the 7-day discount.
Oh, by the way, I picked up coffee when I was out. Yeah, I'll put that on the tab too.
You hit the 7-day discount, so I only charge 23 hours a day.
And they're like, you didn't even start till day 4. Yeah, but that's how this works.
You spent days 1 through 3 slapping grandma, for fuck's sake. What happened?
Saying the power of Christ compels you, slapping you across the face. Mum was just having a seizure, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I talked before about young Bronzi. I was slightly confused, only because I'd missed his mumbly explanation beforehand. So now that you've told me what that was, Jared, I'm now in the loop, and I appreciate.
Well, I'm still confused.
I'll let that dislike go by.
Oh, okay. Are you going to bump it up to 1.5?
No, I'm not going to bump it up to 1.5.
No surprise.
3 people are dead. Nobody's called the fucking cops.
No.
No one.
No.
So hang on. So
because Robert said it only complicates things.
Does it?
Yeah, because they'll have me out of here in 3 to 4 days, and I need that extra couple of days.
Minimum.
It's been a while since I've had a successful exorcism.
By the way, I don't want to get locked up for being a fucking charlatan by the cops, because they're going to say, we've seen this dickhead fucking hawking his bullshit around town.
Aren't you the guy that shot somebody the other day? This doesn't look good for you.
Well, yes. that was me. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, man. And the final thing for me was they kind of try to play the twist, and I think we mentioned this earlier on, that this is who did the killings, but we just had nobody to work with because they were all dead and all beaten up.
Yes.
Or possessed.
That too.
And if you're living in a fucking small household in the English countryside or wherever the fuck we were, you're not exactly going to have a place teeming with suspects, are you?
No. Yeah, no, it was... As I said to you, it kind of headed in a direction where you thought it was going to come down to, like, there was 2 women in the cast that looked sort of similar build, similar.
Yes.
So when they start throwing out this hooded figure, and as I said to you, in one of the scenes in particular, you could see the fucking the hair, which, it doesn't sound like much, but it kind of gave things away.
Yes.
And so I was thinking they were going to try and go another direction because they had the 2 actresses that were similar. One had darker hair and one didn't. So
yeah, true.
But I mean, was I disappointed? No, because I was already at half a star out of them. So
Yeah. You couldn't get much lower, so wouldn't you?
lower.
It's not exactly going to colour your thoughts on the picture.
No.
Yeah, where to from here from Robert? Go back to what you're good at, mate.
Just do the
Drive straight.
Bronson
Straight.
knockoffs.
Straight.
Correct.
Okay? You're not an actor. Like, don't get too big for your boots.
Ask them, is this just a down-the-line action flick that Charles Bronson would have excelled in? Yes. Okay. I'm in. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Are you going to dub my voice to keep the mystique that I might actually be a reincarnated Charles Bronson? Yes, we'll do that. Great.
Yeah. Perfect. They haven't dubbed his voice in other films, have they? Isn't it just Death Kiss?
Death Kiss, definitely.
Assault on Precinct or Cell Block?
Cell Block, I don't think they did in that one. I haven't seen it.
Definitely not in The Gardener.
Definitely not in The Gardener. I'd like to think they would in some... Like, it's not nothing against him having accents or anything like that, but it's, again, your whole thing is that this is Charles Bronson.
Yes.
So if you're going to do that, it's an opportunity to hire a voice actor that also sounds like Charles Bronson and who might bring a little bit of panache to the line delivery.
Are you saying Robert doesn't? Because I think you're fucking sorely mistaken, Jared. Clearly, you've never seen a bloke.
Can you go back and watch the scene at the table where he says "it" and walks away and come back to me?
Or you can go back and see where he fucking gets told breakfast is served and he's just about shits
he
himself.
lights up.
I've never seen the guy so
Well, I'd
excited.
imagine he probably does shit himself because he's had a couple of coffees. He's had a couple of Italian enemas in the morning and He's-
Yeah. This is why he
breakfast served. Oh shit. Sorry.
This is why he had to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
He'd had a fucking the number of coffees that had a laxative effect, and he was.
And after he's crapped himself, he said, "Well, that's all right because I'm wearing your clothes because I only brought 2 days worth and I've been here for 6. So I've just shat Uncle Peter's pants."
Was he washing his gear? Because fuck me. It was not, and also, mate, there was no fucking turn down service. It was not a hotel, okay?
Is he fucking? Are you asking if he's kind of? I don't know. Is he putting a bit of soap in the sink and rinsing the jodhpurs out in that or what?
No, they fucking knock on the door in the morning and they're holding a basket. They're like, "It's not a fucking hotel, idiot. We're not washing your clothes." And he's like, Well,
we only washed
I
them this time around because we had to wash everything else that was covered in blood because 2 people are dead.
Yeah, and also someone vomited on some fucking sheets down here before. All right, that's it.
That's it.
That's fucking it.
And if we ever watch a Bronzi picture again, I need to confirm that it's
just an all-out balls to the wall actioner.
Otherwise, I don't think I can do it.
Again, Jared, you come back to they seem to want to angle in that direction here.
Yeah. Well, he carries
But then
a gun.
they stopped angling.
He has a punch on. But, like, everything else
they
was
all
just...
felt like out of kilter. Like
Yeah.
they'd introduced that shit as a reason for us to hang around.
And we did, for some reason.
I hung around when he beat the shit out of the uncle.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I was
I'll
like,
stay
fucking,
around for the rest of the movie.
this could really liven up now. And then Robert goes outside and has a chat with him, and I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. We're back.
That's clearly where you tuned out because you didn't have any concept of any drug dealing past.
Oh, man, I had no interest in what he was saying. I said to my wife halfway through it, I was like, I'm going to watch the rest of this fucking movie.
I bet you blamed me too. You probably said, oh, yeah, Jared picked this
No,
one.
I didn't blame anyone. I was just like, oh, fuck, I've got to sit through the rest of this. And she's like, oh, maybe I can hang around. And, you know, like, and I was like, you don't want it. I'm fucking serious. You
Save
don't.
yourself.
She's like, okay, I know what I'm, I know what I'm not missing out on here.
Yeah.
All right, that was Exorcist Vengeance. You can find us on Podomatic, iTunes, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. We're on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and on Instagram at thrillmepodcastau. Make sure you rate and review us wherever you find the podcast. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for details of the next movie, but until then, take it easy, and we'll catch everyone later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.